Hey everyone, I'm Kel, Red Zone Rogue, and welcome to another Flesh and Blood video. Today we are doing a Flesh and Blood Arcane Rising Deck in the Box video. You may be asking yourself, what is a Deck in the Box video? Well, Deck in the Box video is a video where I open up an entire booster box of a set and I try to build the best deck I can with the cards inside the booster box. Think of this kind of as like a box sealed. I think this is actually really good for new players if you just bought a booster box and you're like, what can I build with the box that I bought? Or if it's just a really fun deck building challenge, or if you have another friend who, you both bought some boxes, you can build decks and just, battle them against each other. It's a really fun thing to do. But without further ado, let's just crack into this, see what we get, and try to build a deck. All right, shrink wrap has been pierced. I'm really excited for this. This one did not come from a case that I bought for myself, though I do have another case. You know what? I'll just pull it on screen here because I have it sitting on the table. I have another case of Arcane Rising ready to open for y'all on the channel. This one I just kind of bought loose. Hopefully we got some good stuff in here. Got my fingers crossed. I had 2 loose boxes. I did open up one of them already and it was okay. Pretty average box, pretty standard stuff. Not anything too crazy. Oh man, pack is being difficult to open up. But I'm definitely hoping for a legendary or a fabled, obviously. Fervent Forerunner, not a bad basic card, especially the red version. I think it's actually not too bad from in like the Ranger style deck. We have Vigor Rush, Push the Point, Cadaverous Contraband. We have Reduced to Rune Chant is our first rare, pretty good defense reaction for the Rune Blade class. We have Induction Chamber. This is a super rare for the Mechanologist. Not too bad. Not something that's gonna really pull me into playing Mechanologist though. And then our first foil is an Overloop. Actually, I think this card is quite good. Definitely one you want a lot of for the Mechanologist deck. We have a Crown of Dichotomy as our equipment. And then we have the rest of the commons. Ridge Rider Shot, Throttle, Salvage Shot. Let's see if we have Upside Down. Nope, not Upside Down. Cool. Read the Runes, Voltic Bolt, Spellblade Strike, Ether Flare, and Teklo Plasma Pistol. I only mentioned that because if you saw our case opening, all of the Wizard and Runeblade cards were upside down in the packs, which I thought was a little weird. We're really not going to talk a whole lot about the common cards, just because we get so many common cards. We can kind of assume we're going to get mostly one of each, so we're not going to, that's not really going to determine what kind of deck we build. Mostly it's going to come from what rares, supers, and majestics we get. We got Foresight, we have Life for a Life. Not a bad one if we're just playing one that we want to attack with, but not a good pull if we want to play the Wizard. We have Take Cover, decent Ranger defense action, gets you that reload. We have a foil Ridge Rider Shot. Once again, not a too bad of a card for the Ranger, but it's not exactly what we're looking for. We have the Ranger generic equipment, and then the rest of the common cards. Of note, we have a red Zap there, and the red Scalding Rune, actually, that we get in focus. Not too bad for the Wizard deck, to be quite honest. In terms of like really high-end cards, I'll be happy with almost any legendary. Would like to avoid the Arknight one or the Runeblade one because, I already got it. But for the terms of this video, it'd still be pretty good. And I could just trade too. So by the way, that was another Life for a Life down there. Here we have Absorbent Ether, a Wizard defense reaction that kind of pumps up the damage of your spells. Not too bad. Blue Throttle here. Getting a lot of the Mechanologist stuff. This is Achilles Accelerator, another Mechanologist. We have Dissipation Shield, Yellow Searing Shot. Ooh, Red Lock and Load is pretty good. Also, Red Sikkim Shot's good. And Red Rune Flash. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. And we should have, at least one of all of the weapons and one of all of the heroes, so we don't have to really worry about pulling that kind of stuff. Lead the Charge. Really like Lead the Charge in several decks. Same with Whisper of the Oracle. We have an Oath of the Arknight. Ooh, Sonic Boom. This is a majestic Wizard card. Not too shabby. Ooh, and then we have a foil rare. Irina's Prayer. Not a bad one. Decent one, going up against arcane damage style decks. We have Vest of the First Fist. I was going to say that in the wrong order. And then we have the rest of the commons. Red Searing Shot, Red Zipper Hit, Read the Runes, Red. All those are good cards to note. For a lot of the decks here, we want red versions because the red versions are going to be the most impactful. Whereas, you know, the yellow versions and the blue versions, you know, they have middling impact, but a good pitch. We have a red Irina's Prayer, Pedal to the Metal, a blue version of this one, and then we have a foil Force Sight, followed by a Mage Master Boots. Those are pretty good. We'll probably use those. Overloop, Ridge Rider Shot, Red Throttle's a good one. Drawn to the Dark Dimension can be pretty good. Yeah, there we go. Not too bad. So far, I'm not really pulled towards anything in particular. The Sonic Boom does make me want to play Wizard a little bit more, but honestly, I could still go a lot of different ways. Ooh, Moonwish. We have another Take Cover, Pour the Mold. Then we have a red foil Searing Shot. Nice. Talismanic Lens is a really good one. Another red throttle. You know, I'm definitely seeing a lot of good Mechanologist stuff here. Maybe I'm leaning towards Mechanologist, though we don't have anything like truly spicy to, you know, really pull us into Mechanologist. Push the Point, Vigor Rush, Ravenous Rabble. I think is like really good for some of the lean decks, like Hunter, for example. We have a Life for a Life, not too shab. Take Aim, fantastic Ranger card. And then a Plunder Run, another fantastic Ranger card. It's a foil one. We have a Null Rune Robe, Hammy Shot, Overloop, Searing Shot, another red Searing Shot, another red Zap too. And another red Scalding Rune. You know, if we get a 3 of a kind on a lot of that stuff, really entices me to want to play. In terms of commons, honestly, I have not really broken down a lot of like what color of what commons you get per box, but stuff like red Lead the Charge are always great to have. Fate Foreseen's not too bad either. We have a Cognition Nodes, or some call Cognition Noodles. We have Absorb and Ether. This is our, you know, multiple second one. Fate Foreseen, foil common. Like I said, pretty good foil common. Another Null Rune Hood. Then we have Headshot, Optical Monocle, Red Sikkim Shot's pretty cool. Yeah, that's about that. A lot of those cards will definitely like go into whatever deck we build, but not super notable right now. And I do want to say we are going to be building a 60-card deck, not like the 30-card limited deck. We're opening up an entire box. We should try to build, you know, a full deck. We have Stir the Aether Winds, pretty good card for a wizard. Ooh, Majestic Mordred Tide. This is our second Majestic. This is the third Mordred Tide I've pulled. Not too bad at all. Bullseye Bracers, Headshot, 0 to 60. It's still pretty good. It's not the red one. For a limited pool like this, we definitely want the red one, but, you know, still not too bad. So we've only opened up one super. We've gotten 2 Majestics. Both Majestics are, you know, are not too bad. The Mordred Tide is pretty good for the, you know, Rune Blade class, but we haven't really had too much other spicy Rune Blade stuff. Irina's Prayer. Ooh, Spellblade Assault. That would be pretty good for the Rune Blade deck. Cadaverous Contraband Foil. Looks very nice. Then we have another Null Rune Hood. Hammy Shot. Lock and Loaded. Another Salvage Shot. And we're just going to flip through the rest of these. I'm still liking... I think I like Wizard the most so far. If you had to ask, I'm probably like halfway through the box here. Definitely liking Wizard more than Runeblade. And I do like the Mechanologist stuff that we've gotten so far. It might just be easier to make a Mechanologist deck with, you know, commons and stuff, because I have so many good ones. We have Plunder Run, Spellblade Assault. Both of those were blue. We have a Come to Fight. Yeah. There's a foil. We have Null Rune Gloves, and then the rest of the commons here. Yep, still stands true. Still looking at Wizards so far, though. Once again, still kind of hard to tell. Ooh, red Whisper the Oracle. Those will be good in almost whatever deck we make. Fate Foreseen. We have a Stir the Aether Winds. We have another Pour the Mold. And then for foil is a foil Headshot. Oh, dude. Hold on, let's get the foiling. And there we go. That's the angle. That's brutal. Absolutely brutal. Crown of Dichotomy. And then we got the commons here. A lot of yellows and blue commons for that. For the wizard deck, it's kind of interesting. For the commons, or for the most of the deck, we do want a lot of reds, but we actually want a lot of blue pitches so we can, you know, pitch and have the resources that we need to activate, you know, our abilities. We have Enchanting Melody. That's a yellow. Ooh, red take aim. Fantastic. Then we have a foil Pedal to the Metal. This is a foil rare. Pretty good for the Mechanologist deck. Like I said, Mechanologist might be the way to go here. If you are watching the video, ooh, red Voltic Bolt is pretty sweet. If you're watching the video, which hero are you leaning towards at this point? I'm really going either towards Mechanologist or Wizard, though I would not. I mean, I think we've gotten a good number of Ranger cards that I think are pretty good. Let's see. We have Oath of the Arknight, really good Runeblade card. It's a red version. Ooh, Endless Arrow, fantastic super for the Ranger class. And then our foil is a Salvage Shot. Yeah, pretty cool. Another Crown of Dichotomy, Zipper Hit, Red Index, Red Amplify the Arknight is pretty sweet. Also Drawn to the Dark Dimension, pretty sweet. For the deck building part of this, I'm probably going to zoom through that, you know, fast forward through it, so you don't have to sit through it, because it'll probably take me, you know, 10-20 minutes to actually build the deck, which is why I'm talking about my, you know, thought processes right now. We have another Absorbent Ether. That is a blue pitch version. There's a Lesson in Lava super. Yo, like I said, Wizard is looking pretty good. There's a blue Index, Vest of the First Fist, Hammy Shot. Do I need red Index, Spellblade, red Ether Flare. Not too bad, to be honest. Not too bad at all. We still probably have at least 2 more supers, probably 1 foil. Hopefully we can still get something sweet like a, you know, maybe another Majestic. That'd be excellent. Arena's Prayer, reduced to Rune Chant, and then we have, ooh, this is a Cold Steel foil. Here, let's try to get the Cold Steel foiling. Achilles Accelerator for the Mechanologist. Yeah, pretty sweet. I'm happy about that. Then we have, you know, let's put this one actually down here. Put it down there because it's a special card. We have a Null Rune Hood. Let's see, Sikkim Shot, Overloop, yellow Locked and Loaded is not too bad. Yeah, even the yellow Reverberate's not too bad. And then we have our double Viscerai. Yeah. I think I'm definitely going to Wizard. Unless we, you know, pull something truly insane, Wizard is looking like where we want to be. We have a Silver the Tip rare, super blade of, or 9th blade of the Blood Oath. I was gonna say blade of the 9th Oath. You know, it's a pretty good rune one, or rune blade, rune one. We have a red Throttle. Oh man, but the Mechanologist seems super sweet too, and a red 0 to 60. Oh man, I don't know. Also, you've got dash, you got the double dash. I'm torn. I'm so torn. I mean, we also have some pretty high rarity Runeblade cards, but I think the rest of the pulls are really saying play Wizard or play Mechanologist. It's honestly really close. Life for a Life. You know, if we do play Mechanologist, we can play stuff like Life for a Life, where it's not quite as good in the Wizard deck. Ooh, Pedal to the Metal. Also really good. We have a foil Index, Null Rune Robe, Ridge Rider Shot, Optical Monocle. We have a red Scalding Rune, or Scalding Rain even. I can say rain, right? I live in Oregon. We have a lot of it here. All right, we got Riven Forerunner. Like I said, I've liked this in Ranger before. Ravenous Rabble, Push the Point, Lead the Charge, Oath of the Arknight, defensive action, or just a Runeblade action, pumps up your next attack and creates a token. This is a Rusted Relic. Do we have something spicy coming up? Oh no, it's just a Voltic Bolt. Rusted Relic, this is a super rare. Not really the super that we were looking for. This is a Voltic Bolt though. Do like it. Definitely going to play that in the Wizard deck. If we make the Wizard deck, that is. Another red Zap. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. We actually have... Yeah, we actually have 5 supers here. That's more than average. I think you typically get maybe, I don't know, 4 per box. I want to say you typically get 2 Majestics, 4 supers, and you know the rest are just rares. I say that's pretty average, though you do also typically get 1 foil super, another Absorbent Power, another Pedal to the Metal, a foil Force Sight. yeah, not too bad. Pumps up our attack actions. Could be good in the Mechanologist. Obviously not very good in Wizard, because we're not going to be playing any attack actions. You know, speaking of which, we got Kano, and probably young Kano. Still have, 4 or 5 packs left. Still got some chances for something truly spicy. I have yet to pull a Foil Majestic from this set, so got my fingers crossed. Ooh, there we go, Aether Spindle. Really, really good rare for the Wizard, in my opinion. Another reduced to Rune Chant. Whoa, we got another freaking Grasp of the Arknight. Are you kidding me? This is the second legendary I've pulled from Arcane Rising, and it's been Grasp of the Arknight both times. That is actually insane. Actually insane. I'm gonna have to look to trade that. But for this video, for the purposes of this video, I just realized I put Kano in the wrong spot. Now I really gotta look at Runeblade, man. Now I really gotta look at Runeblade. That has swung it completely, because like that plus Mordred Tide plus the 9th Blade. Now it's just like, you need to play Runeblade. Play it. I demand that you play the Runeblade. Alright, man. That threw me for a loop. Was not expecting the same Grasp of the Arknight. Gotta take aim. Foil, read the runes. Yeah, put that in our Arknight deck. Bracers of Belief. Still got some sweet stuff for Wizard. Got 2 more packs left. Oh, that's crazy. Actually crazy. Let's see. You have Back Alley Breakline, Ravenous Rabble, Force Sight, Whisper of the Oracle, Life for a Life, Aether Spindle, another Aether Spindle. Pretty good. We have a Salvage Shot. Foil. Another Achilles Accelerator. Locked and Loaded. Another Red Voltic Bolt. That's pretty sweet. Amplify the Arknight. I'll have to see how many red amplifiers we have. Azalea. And then Azalea. I think we have 1 more pack left here. Yep, 1 more pack. And then we will plow through these cards and try to make a deck. This is probably double Kano. Is it double Kano? Oh, it's a Crack Bauble. I think we already got double. Not Kano. I meant Viserai. Anyway, let's just get through this. Let's see what we got. We have a Convection Amplifier. Not too bad for the Mechanologist. Pour the Mold. Another Mechanologist card. And then another Mechanologist. Yeah, Foil Super. Chains of Eminence. This box is actually really good. We have a Null Rune Boots. Searing Shot, Overloop, Headshot, Zipper Hit. Yeah, not too bad stuff. Red Spellblade Strike. Definitely going to keep an eye on that one. We got a lot of super rares. Yeah, look at all these super rares. As I look at these, I'm still like, maybe you want to play Wizard? And Lesson in Love is so sweet, but we gotta try. We got the freaking legendary. We have to try for the Arknight. So give me a few minutes. For you, it's gonna be a couple seconds, but I'm gonna sort through this and try to make a sweet Arknight deck. Arknight deck. Runeblade deck? Yeah, let's go. Alright everyone, and this is the deck that I ended up building. We did go with Viserai Runeblood. I do think there was definitely a Mechanologist deck in there, and a Wizard deck, and maybe a Ranger one. You could probably even build 2 decks, honestly. Maybe even 3 decks out of that entire box, but we're not going to do that here. We're just going to do Viserai because we got some really good Viserai pulls. Obviously, we are running Viserai because he is the hero of the deck, and Nebula Blade. Of course, we're running Grasp of the Arknight. That's the whole reason that really wanted me to go into actually playing Runeblade for this deck in a box video. I do like Runeblade in general. In fact, the first deck that I'm really going to build is a Runeblade deck. But yeah, I mean, Grasp of the Arknight, I think it's actually fantastic. Once per turn, allows us to create a Rune Chant token, which is fantastic. So if we are down on some of those Rune Chant creation cards, we can always build more. And we do have a lot of effects, or a lot of cards that have effects that reduce their cost based on the number of Rune Chants we have. Also, it's Battle-worn, and it has a defense value of 2. Really good legendary there. We're also running the Rune Blade Equipment Head, because of course we are. Also fantastic, has Arcane Barrier, and it has the action ability of 1 resource and destroy it. You can put a Rune Chant attack and target Rune Blade non-attack from your graveyard on top of your deck in any order. Did I say Rune Chant? Rune Blade attack and a non-Rune Blade attack on top of your deck. Yeah, really, really good. Mage Master Boots, and I also did Vest of the First Fist. I like these a little bit better than the defensive options just because I like being proactive rather than defensive in almost every card game that I play. Mage Master Boots has an action of pay 1, destroy the boots, and the next non-attack action card you play gets go again, which is fantastic. We have a lot of non-attack action cards. This deck is basically half and half. Half attacks and half non-attacks. This is Vest of the First Fist. Same kind of deal. We want to be more proactive. When an attack action you control hits, you may destroy Vest. If you do, gain 2 resources, and we have a lot of ways to go again, and basically we want to just keep pumping out stuff, creating rune chants and dealing damage. Speaking of which, we have Spell Blade Assault here. We're going to talk about the attacks first, and then we're going to talk about the non-attacks. Just a pretty solid card. It is a rare. We only got 2 of them, but, you know, when you play it, you get to create 2 rune chant tokens. Would have liked the red versions, but you know, we're dealing with what we're dealing with. Next up, we have some Spell Blade Strikes. Obviously, I'm running the red versions and the yellow versions. This one says create a rune chant token, very similar to the Spell Blade Assault, but it has 1 cost less, and these ones create just a single rune chant token. I am running the red versions and the yellow versions, which do slightly less damage. Of course, we are running our super rare that we pulled, Ninth Blade of the Blood Oath. This starts kind of a theme here. It says it costs 1 less to play for each rune chant you control, and we definitely want to create some rune chants. Our legendary will help with that, as well as cards like Spellblade Strike. It's pretty good though, 9 damage. Quite powerful, but it has a cost of 9, so we want to definitely create a lot of rune chants. Amplify the Arcanite, same kind of deal, just costs less for each rune chant we control. It's a pretty heavy hitting attack, costs 3 here, and I wanted to run more reds, but we only got 2 reds, so we did have to play with, you know, some of the higher pitch value ones. We don't really want a lot of pitch value in this deck because a lot of the cards can get reduced by the rune chants, but we are playing with a decent number of you know, blue cards just because we need to, and also because I think we need a decent number, not a crazy number, not like a wizard amount, but we definitely want to fuel our abilities. Same kind of deal with Drawn to the Dark Dimension, reduces the cost for each rune chant you control, but you get a draw card, and you just always get a draw card. It's not like when it hits draw card, you just draw a card, which is actually pretty good. So I'm running the red version here, as well as the yellow version. Rune Flash is the same kind of deal. It is reduced for each rune chant we control, but it also has Go Again, which is sweet. We're running the red version as well as the yellow version. Next up, we have Life for a Life. We're going to go over some of the generic actions here, and I'm just running all the ones we got because I think it's worth it, and also we didn't have a ton of options here when it comes to our card selection. It's just a, you know, decent attack, only costs 1 to play. If it hits, you gain a life. And if you, when you play it, if you have less life than your opponent, it gets Go Again. So pretty good at punishing, you know, maybe Wizard, who's like dealing you some early damage. Yeah, not too bad. Next up, we have Rifting, a card that I initially wasn't going to play, but I needed extra playables, and I went through and I read some of the generic actions again. I'm like, oh, you know what? This would actually fit in the deck pretty well. It has a pretty high attack value. This is the red version, but you know, the yellow version still has an attack value of 5, and the blue version still has an attack value of 4, which isn't too bad. And it says, if it hits, you may play your next non-attack action as though it were an instant, which is really sweet. So yeah, that works really well with this deck because we're playing both attack actions and non-attack actions, and we want to do multiples in a turn. Speaking of which, we have Mordred Tide. This one already has Go Again, but it says until end of turn, if you would create a rune chant token, instead create that many +1. Really good with our legendary, which creates rune chant tokens, and all of the other cards that we saw that does that. Fantastic, majestic. Speaking of which, we have Read the Runes, 0 cost. Create 3 rune chant tokens. This is kind of like a way to power out a lot of those attacks that have the cost reduced by the number of rune chants we have. So yeah, I like this card quite a bit. The only problem is it does not have Go Again, and is not an instant, so we have to, you know, do something to make it so we can play this and another card in the same turn, or we want to make sure this is the last card we play in the turn, so we don't just play this only and then go. That's a very non-productive turn in my opinion. We are running 3 of the red ones, as well as 2 of the yellows, and the only foil one that we got, blue one. I don't really like the blue one very much. It just says create a rune chant token. Don't like that very much, but you gotta do what you gotta do, and it has a 3 pitch value, which isn't too bad. Next up is Blood Spill Invocation, another card that helps us create rune chant tokens. This one is an aura, which means it stays on the battlefield. It costs 1. It does have go again, and it says when an attack action card you control hits, destroy Blood Spill Invocation and then create 3 rune chant tokens. When your hero is dealt damage, destroy Blood Spill Invocation. It's kind of a tricky card, but you basically want to play this and then immediately do attack, and hopefully that attack hits, and then you can pop the invocation and get some rune chant tokens. You definitely don't want to play this and then end your turn, because they're going to hit you, and then you're going to lose it, and you're not going to get the ability. We are running 2 of the reds, 2 of the yellows. The only difference is yellow has higher pitch, and you create less rune chant tokens. Red creates 3, yellow creates 2. Next up is some of the rares we got. Oath of the Arknight. This card is fantastic. Gonna play this in almost any single Runeblade deck. It says your next Runeblade attack this turn gains +3 damage. Pretty sweet. And it also creates a rune chant token. Also pretty sweet. And it has go again. Yep, really good. We're running all of the ones that we got. The red versions. And then the blue version just has a lower attack amplification there. Also, we are running Reduce to Rune Chant. This is a Runeblade defense reaction. Pretty good card, honestly. It's reduced by 1 for each rune chant you control, and it only costs 1. So if you have at least 1 rune chant, then it costs nothing, and it just says create a rune chant token, and it has a defense of 4. Really, really good defense reaction. We're running all the copies that we got. The only difference is for the blue version, lower defense. I'm also running the Chains of Eminence that we got, because if I was playing against a friend, not in a competitive environment, but if I was cracking a box and my friend was cracking a box and we built decks to play against each other, they probably got something really sweet, probably 1 Majestic or something that, I really don't want to see. And so Chains of Eminence kind of helps deal with that. And it's just kind of funny too, I like it. I think it's really, really cheeky. Next, we're running both of our plunder runs. They are both the blue versions. Look at that smile, man. 0 cost. It says the next time an attack action you control hits, draw a card. If plunder run is played from the arsenal, the next attack action card you play gains 1 damage. Really good for this deck. We want to play stuff and then get bonuses by attacking. So we want to play things that buff up our attacks, whether it be rune chants or stuff like Plunder Run, fits really well into the deck. And that 3 pitch value helps fuel all of our other stuff if we don't really need this. And then finally, we are playing Lead the Charge. I think this card is actually super underrated. I think it's really, really good. Even in my legit constructed Runeblade deck, I am running this card because I think that's just how good it is. It costs 0, and it says the next time you play an action card with cost 0 or greater, gain 1 action point. So this basically lets the next card you play have go again, more or less. It's not exactly what it does, but it means that you can, play this and then play a card and then play another card after that. So we can play this one, play that card that creates, 3 rune chant tokens, and then play an attack immediately after that, which is pretty good. The biggest difference here is that the red version, in my opinion, is the best by far, because it doesn't matter what the cost is of the next card that you play. It's just 0 or greater, so that works with anything. The yellow version has to be a cost 1 or greater, and then the blue version has to be a cost 2 or greater. I did count there's over 20 cards that have a cost 2 or greater that don't already have go again to work with this blue version, and there's even more than that for the yellow version, so we can definitely find uses for these ones, but the red version is where it's at. We only got 2 in the box. And that's the video, everyone. I hope y'all like this Arcane Rising deck in a box video. Pretty crazy that we got this legendary here. I'm still super jazzed about it. The fact that it's my second one, it kind of doesn't sting or anything, but just means I gotta trade this for a different one. Maybe a Skullbone Crosswrap. I'm looking for a Skullbone Crosswrap. If you got one and I haven't already traded this, yo, hit me up. I wanna trade. In any case, I hope this was useful to you, at least a little bit entertaining in these trying times. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. It actually really, really helps quite a bit. And I'll see you next time for some more card game content. See you later.